morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout out goes to Pit from Mars Laughing Face. Pit from Mars Laughing Face was first to identify my Transformers shirt in the last video I did, but if you want a shout out, just be first to say first in my follow-on videos, and you'll get that shout out. So congratulations again to Pit from Mars. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and I have a review of a neat new drone. This is the LYZRC L700 GPS drone. This is an improved version of a previously released drone. Let me show you that drone, the L900. It's a smaller, lighter version of the L900, and the biggest improvements, let's go over what the main improvements of this over the original is the camera. The camera on the original L900, L900, let me get that right, had a problem in that it had a lot of jello, okay, very much jello, and a lot of that was caused by the way they had it attached, the camera attached to the drone, sticking out pretty far. Any vibrations from this were amplified by this being stuck out so far away from the drone on this arm here for the gimbal, this up-down gimbal here, and that again aggravated vibrations to the camera, creating a lot of jello. And the way they've improved that on the new L700 is they moved this camera closer into the drone, give it a better, more secure attachment to the drone, less chances of vibrations. And indeed, I've checked this out this weekend here, checking my gutters on the house here, and I didn't notice any vibrations from the newer upgraded L700. So they seem to have corrected that vibration problem from the old drone to the new drone. Another improvement over this drone, over the previous model, is they made it lighter, yet they've increased the battery size. The original battery was a 2200 milliampere hour, 7.4 volt, pretty big battery. Well, the battery isn't the problem. The case that they put it in was the problem. It's a pretty big case, pretty hefty case, and that added weight to the drone. What they've done with the new L700 is they've reduced the size of that battery. Let me show you the new battery. Or they reduced the physical size of the battery, making it as more compact size than the original. However, they increased the size of the battery itself. It's also a 2S battery, but it's now 3000 milliampere hour instead of the original 2200. So they've increased the capacity of the battery by putting it in a smaller case, smaller, lighter case. Now let's talk about that weight, the weight difference between the two. The original L900 was below 250 grams, which made it great. It came in at 214 grams with the battery installed into it. So it is a lightweight drone, the original. I got a spare battery in there already, but it could be lighter. Okay, and they did make it lighter, again with this smaller battery, smaller drone. This new drone here, the L700, weighs only 184 grams as compared to the original 214 grams. So they shaved a good 30 grams off of this thing by making it smaller, lighter. Hey, one thing I want to talk about real quick, since I got the battery in hand and we're talking about the batteries, is make sure this battery is fully inserted. Don't just slam it like that in and hope that it's inserted. What you want to see is to make sure that the battery is flush against the back side of this drone. Otherwise, you might go flying and find a surprise when your drone just stops in midair and drops to the ground. You want to make this go all the way in, and to do that, make sure that you push down on the little lever switch here. Let me show it up close. This thing here, push down on that as you're pushing it in until that is flush with the back side of the drone. So I'm going to do that right now, pushing down while pushing forward, and there we go. It's flush. So make sure you check that before takeoff. Again, if you take off with that battery, just you slam it in and hope it's all the way in, and it's not, and you take off, this drone can drop from the sky, and you'll be, again, very disappointed. You'll think you have a faulty drone when you just didn't check to make sure the battery was all the way in. Okay, let's go over other things, the differences. The controller is a bit different. This is the original L900. This is the new L700 controller. It's a bigger controller, bigger LCD screen. Same information, more or less, what you see on it. Let's see if this has power on it, and turn the power on this on. Same information, but easier, bigger, lighter, easier to read screen on this one. Okay, much easier to read screen, and we'll talk about that screen, what you get the telemetry information you get off the new screen. So that is a big improvement too of the original, is the controller screen is much better, easier to see with that important telemetry information. And this drone does have telemetry, which makes it telemetry that you could read on the controller. You don't need the app to read that information. So that makes it good. So let's get this out of the way. Let's focus on the drone itself now. Again, I mentioned the improvements. It's a folding drone, making it highly portable. That's the idea. You can take it more or less anywhere with you. Actually, I guess this goes in first, and then these come in the back to make it a fully folded drone. As such. So, yeah, nice, small, lightweight drone. It does come with a rather nice carrying case. Let me show you that case. Very nice carrying case with a backpack strap. A backpack case. So, to carry the drone and its accessories. So, it really... really nice case for such a cheap drone. Okay, I'm surprised. But let's open this back up again. Other things about it, it's available in black, gray, or in this orange. I like this orange color because it makes it easier to see the drone in the sky. So I recommend the orange color if you're considering the colors. Again, it weighs 184 grams with the battery installed. What does that mean? That means this does not require registration in most countries. However, those countries that require registration of camera drones, this still has a camera on it. So those countries will require registration. But most countries don't care about the camera. They care about the weight. And this is under 250 grams at 184. So it doesn't require registration in most countries. It does have brushless motors like the L900. So, you know, that improves the durability and longevity of flying this drone without worrying about the motors burning out like on a brushed motor drone. It does have GPS, which enables this to fly autonomously back to you and land itself. And it will do such on command. If you press the button on the controller to come back and land, it'll do that. It'll do it on loss of signal from the controller. If you fly too far away or accidentally turn off that controller or the batteries die, this will return and land itself where it took off from by itself. And also it'll come back to you on a low voltage signal. I don't remember if it lands. We'll find out when we go fly it again. But it does come back within a certain radius, and then you can take control of the drone. If I remember with the original L900 that you had, it would bring it within 30 meters. We'll see if that is the same with this drone when we go fly it. Now, other things it has in addition to that GPS, it has an optical flow sensor on the bottom of this drone. This will enable you to fly this drone indoors if you like. It's kind of a small drone. Even though it's brushless, it's kind of small, so you might want to consider flying it indoors if you want to. Make sure you have enough room though, because the brushless motor is pretty powerful and you don't want to smack it into your pet dog. You'll be very mad at yourself if that happens. I mentioned the battery again, the 7.4 volts, 3000 milliampere hour. I brushed on the camera, you know, with the improved stand-on or attachment point here. It reduces or eliminates jello. I didn't see any jello when I was looking at my gutters flying this thing. But let's talk about the details of the camera. First off, there is no SD card on this drone. It does not record to SD or to a memory card on the drone. The way this records is it transmits its video or its photos directly to your phone over 802.11 AC Wi-Fi, where you can view it on your phone, view the in-flight video while flying, and record it if you wish. Now, I mentioned that 802.11 AC. Let me stress, as I always do, not everybody has a phone that is capable of using 802.11 AC Wi-Fi. Before you purchase this drone, first verify that your phone indeed can receive 802.11 AC Wi-Fi, or else you will be very disappointed when you try to use this drone with your phone and you can't connect it. So, again, make sure your phone has that capability of that Wi-Fi. The camera itself is on a little up-down pointing gimbal. There is no stabilization of the gimbal, mechanical stabilization, although they do say it has some electronic image stabilization. I flew this again, and I did not see much in ways of electronic image stabilization. Let's see when we take it out into the field for extended flights to see how it performs there. But it records video to your phone 1080p at 20 frames per second. It actually looks relatively good for what it is going to your phone. The images that go to your phone are frame grabs of that 1080p video that have been interpolated to a larger 4K size using the app. And the app on this is the RX app, or prescription app, available in Google Play and iTunes. But again, that records video and photos to your phone. Excuse me. They claim, again, 4K, but that is an electronically enlarged still image that's recorded to your phone. There is no 4K video coming from this camera. It's 1080p. Again, and the still photos are frame grabs that are upended to 4K resolution. Other things about the drone, I mentioned the FPV video using the app, the RX app. The RX app also gives the drone the ability, it has some advanced flight modes of circle me, follow me, and even waypoints that are available through the app. I'll try to demonstrate all three when we go flying with this particular drone when I take it out into the field. Let's see, what else have I mentioned? The ranges. They predict a range of 300 to 600 meters FPV range from this drone. A good range, good working range, as I saw on the L900, was around 200 meters. You get out to 300 meters, it starts to get choppy video, and it gets worse as you get further and further away until eventually you lose that video and the image freezes. With that in mind, the controller's range is rated up to, I believe, 1,200 meters. Yeah, 1,200 meters, but keep in mind, this is not recording to an SD card. So as soon as that video freezes, you're flying blind. And you will not be able to record that video onto your phone at ranges greater than 600 meters. So, you know, what's the use of having a controller that can go that far, because you're just going to be flying blind. That's what I'm trying to say there, folks. Okay, let's go over what you get in the pack. You get the instruction manual for the RX app. You get the instruction manual for the drone itself. It comes in Chinese and English. You get the drone and a battery. You can purchase additional batteries at the time of purchase. I recommend doing that if you intend to fly with additional batteries, as you're going to have a hard time finding replacement batteries after you get this, unless you get it bundled at the time of purchase. Again, remember to push down on that button. Oh, there we go. That's how you turn it on. Let me turn it off here, folks. I held it down too long. So there we go. That's what you get. You also get in the package a spare set of propellers, a spare set of propeller screws to insert those propellers in case you ding some of these up, and a screwdriver to put those propellers in. And you get a charging cable for the controller. I've mentioned the controller briefly, but this controller has a built-in battery, folks, that you charge through this port here. And it's a micro USB port, and you get a micro USB cable to charge it with. Again, you use a wall charger to charge this, and additionally, the battery of the drone itself, you also use a wall charger, a phone wall charger to charge it. I recommend a 2-amp wall charger. There's the micro USB port there. Don't try to charge this through your computer, because it is a big battery and it might take several days to fully charge this using the low power output of a computer USB port. You want a good power output, and again, a 2-amp wall charger should charge this readily, so without problems. So let's put that back in, and again, push that button down and slide it in. Again, we're going back to the controller. I mentioned the controller has its own battery built into it. Other things about the controller, let's go over the buttons on this. Excuse me again. First off, let's talk about these antennas. There is no wire going up inside these antenna cases, so these antennas are fake. You can leave them down or break them off if you don't want them. They're not real antennas. They're just for aesthetics to look pretty on this particular controller. And most of these toy drone controllers, they are fake antennas on most of these. It also has a phone holder for your phone, and my large phone actually fits into this, so I'm surprised they have a controller that I don't really need to, although I probably will put the rubber band on just to make sure the phone don't drop off, because my phone is rather heavy, so I'm kind of worried about that. Other things about this controller, this button here is for starting and stopping video. A long press starts the video, and a long press turns off the video. Short press takes a photo. This button here by the video switch is not the control of the gimbal, but this is actually your rate switch. You move it to the right or left, and that increases or decreases the rate, which means increases or decreases the pitch on the drone, enabling you to fly faster or slower as you wish. I recommend going slow if you're taking video, and if you're just flying for sport mode, then put it in to high for having fun. The scroll wheel on the right, though, this is the controller for your gimbal on the camera, and it just moves the camera up or down using the scroll wheel automatically. Again, there is no stabilization on this gimbal. It's not a stabilized gimbal, it's just a fixed gimbal that has up-down movement of the lens that you can control using this scroll wheel. This button here, right by that scroll wheel, is your automatic return to home button. So if you want to bring the drone back and have it land automatically, you press that button and it will do so. Other buttons here, you can turn the GPS on or off, pressing this button here. Say if you wish to do indoor flying, you can turn the GPS off and fly indoors using the optical flow system. This button here is for doing the compass calibration. Very important. You want to do that before each flight. I'll demonstrate how to do that compass calibration when we go out and flying in the field. Other buttons on this. This is your button, idle button. It unlocks the drone and starts up the drone motors in idle, and then you can take off by giving it some throttle, like so. So to start this drone, you press this button first, and then wait until it starts up, and then give it throttle. And again, don't do this until you have sufficient satellites to fly. I've been getting a lot of questions from my viewers recently, and I just assume everybody knows this, but you want to have at least 7 satellites being received before you take off. You don't want to take off with less than 7 satellites, because your GPS system will not be calibrated yet and know where it is in the world, and you will have problems if you try to take off with less than 7 satellites. Don't do it, folks. At least 7. I always wait until I get about 11, to tell you the truth. It's much more accurate fix on the GPS. So I usually say wait till 11. Other things on this is your headless mode button. You press this and you can do panning shots on the drone, sliding left or right, very easily using headless mode. I'll demonstrate that too when we go out in the field. And finally, this is your on-off switch. And the information, let me see if I can get this to focus properly. I don't know if it's focusing or not, but what we got here, it tells you the reception quality of both the drone and of the controller being seen by the drone, so you know how well this controller is talking with the drone. You can see on these sliding bars on the left and right. It tells you the battery power of the drone, battery power of the controller, whether you're taking a photo or video, whether you're in return to home mode. The reception quality of the Wi-Fi, the 5.8 gigahertz Wi-Fi, is in the upper right corner here. Whether you're in GPS mode or not, and whether you're in headless mode or not, is up here. Additionally, we got telemetry information of both height of the drone and distance of the drone, along with the number of satellites being received. Remember, I say wait until you get about 11, but you want a minimum of at least 7. And again, whether the GPS is on or off. And also it tells you the rates, either you're in low or high rate, and it goes mode 0, mode 1, mode 0 I believe, or no, it goes mode 1 and mode 2. Mode 1 is GPS and mode 2 is optical flow. It has nothing to do with mode 1 or 2 of the controller, if I remember correctly. But I believe this tells you whether you're in, again, GPS mode or in optical flow mode, mode 1 being GPS. So that is the controller and its telemetry capability. Nice, again, nice larger screen than the L900. So that is the drone and what you get with it. Let's take it out in the field, folks, and see how it flies. So hope you enjoy this flight. Good morning, Quadcopter 101, and welcome to beautiful Erie, Pennsylvania. This is what it's like in the wintertime, folks. Well, it's late November, actually. But it don't get much better than this, so I got to take advantage of today. It's going to get worse. The weather's going to get worse for the next week. So let's fly this LYZRC L700. To start this up, you got to press this little button in the back and hold it down until you hear a chirp. Then put the drone down on a flat level surface. Then turn the controller on like so. And the first thing we want to do, folks, is do that compass calibration. To do such, let's see how it's flashing right now, the red. Press this button here once, and then it starts flashing rapidly. And when it does that, take the drone like so and rotate it horizontally till you hear a beep. And then go vertically and rotate until you hear another beep. There, second beep. And we have compass calibration Do that for each and every flight, folks. When you put a new battery in, I recommend it. Okay, next thing we need to do is connect the 802.11 AC Wi-Fi being emitted by the drone, connect it with our phone. So I'm going to go into the phone's settings and connect that, and then we'll open the app. So hold on, folks. Okay, this is the RX Drone app, available on Google Play and iTunes. And we hit play in the lower right corner. And that should bring up the drone's Wi-Fi video here shortly. And there we go. Okay, right now it's pointed downward at the mat that it's on. Let me raise up that gimbal. There it is on this beautiful sunny day in Erie. It don't get better than this. So we're going to fly, folks, today. But no, keep in mind, we do have some limitations here because of the lighting. We have very light snow also going on at the same time. So there are some limitations of the camera. You know, it's not going to look as good as a bright sunny day, but I'm not going to get a bright sunny day in Erie, here in Erie for quite a while. Now, before we take off, notice in the app, and also you can see it on my LCD screen, that we have 18 satellites are connected. It says it there and there. So we are good to go. Now remember, we need at least 7 satellites. The more the better for a more accurate fix. Okay, now before we take off, I want to start that video camera by holding this button down here. And we notice the number starts chirping away there on the upper right corner. So we are recording. And we're going to start the motor by pressing this button here. And then we're going to give it throttle. And check stability. I'm just going to let it sit there. What I'm looking for is it doing weird rotations, like it's going down a toilet bowl. If you ever see that with a drone, folks, you want to recalibrate the drone. Land immediately and recalibrate those gyros. Okay, let me get into the picture here. Come down a little lower so you can see me in the picture. Say, how do you like my jacket today, folks? Yeah, it's cold out here. It ain't that cold. It's about 35 degrees. But let's see how the drone flies and records its video on a day like today. So let's go out, folks. Going up and out. It's a fast little drone, isn't it? It moves very quickly. How far away are we? 60 meters, 70 meters, 80 meters. And what there? Player has error message. I don't know what that was. It stopped recording. Let's see if I can start recording again. I hit the return to home button by accident. Well, let's see return to home. It's coming back. We're almost to the road there. Let's do an automatic return home. And I noticed that we lost the video feed. So yeah, you know, that's the disadvantage of drones that don't record directly to an SD card. In that once you lose Wi-Fi reception, you lose the signal, and it can freeze like it did there. I want to see this, how close this landing is, though. It's coming down. And I want to see also if we can get automatically regain the drone, but it doesn't seem to be doing that. Again, we were only at about 100 meters or so when that happened. But let's see how accurate. Now, you know, these drones in this price range, okay, we're off about 3 meters. Now, I don't want to go into the snow, so I'm going to stop it right there. Okay, we still don't have connection. What I want to do, folks, is I need to land it again. Or actually, let me see if I can reconnect the Wi-Fi while it's in the air. So hold on while I do that, and let me try it. So let's see here. Going into settings. And where are you, settings? Okay, over here in this page. There it is. See if I can gain that Wi-Fi again. Going into the network, internet. Oh, I'm connected. So you know what I think happened, folks, is my phone asks, it'll tell me that I don't have a connection, a Wi-Fi connection, and it'll, you know, or on the Wi-Fi connection that I don't have internet. And this does not have internet. And if it, my phone in particular, if you don't select stay connected, it disconnects automatically. And I think that's what happened here, folks. So hold on while I reset the Wi-Fi and tell it this time to stay connected after it connects. So hold on, folks. Okay, that's what happened. I went back into Wi-Fi, reconnected, and this time I waited a few seconds, And my phone eventually said, this Wi-Fi has no internet. Do you want to stay connected? And I selected yes. A lot of phones do that, so keep that in mind, folks. You might need to wait a few seconds there after you connect to verify that you want to stay connected to that Wi-Fi. Okay, hitting play again, and we have signal again. Taking off again, or by starting the motors by pressing this button here, and giving it throttle. Okay, while we got battery power on this cold day, let's try some of the other features of this drone. Namely, everybody wants to see follow me. And before I do that, let me start the video recording again by pressing this button here. And double checking the video is recording. Although I'm not seeing a number flash there, so I'm going to stop it. Okay, now it says it's recording. Let's hit stop. No, wrong button, cancel. That's emergency stop. Okay, so this upper right corner button that says stop, that's emergency stop. Do not press that. Okay, unless it is emergency. It's coming down a little bit. Now we want to try the advanced flight modes. In the upper left corner, the little drone insignia, press that and you get a bunch of selections here. First off, let's try follow me. I'm going to step back about 30 meters and sync up the cameras real quick so my voice is moving in unison with the drone, and then selecting follow, and I want to do GPS follow, and it thinks my phone is over here for some reason. Let me get into the picture, and it's sliding with me. And the type of follow me it's got here appears to be Hubsan style, where it stays at a geo position away from you wherever you set it. Let's see if I can adjust that. Oh, you can adjust the pointing. Let's see if it'll stay pointed at me though. Yeah, it's working. So that's the follow me, folks. Let's see if we can get closer. Let's turn off follow me. Turning follow me off and getting closer. See how close we can get. Because some people like to do, let's see now. Hitting follow me. GPS follow. Okay, it moves to 30 meters away, or not 30, how many meters? 20 meters. So it has a default distance of 20 meters that you got to keep it at. But again, it's a Hubsan style follow me, right? Although right now it doesn't seem to be doing that. Let's try that again. Follow. Follow. GPS follow. Okay. Will it come follow me? Or is it going to stay right there? Well, I had it working. Oh, there we go. Now it's working again. So there's the follow me. It's working. And one toward it will go away from me. Yeah, so that's follow me, folks, on this wintry day here. So the next thing I want to do is come out of follow me. Pressing stop. Going up a bit higher. And the next thing I want to do is circle position. First off, I'm going to lower the gimbal there. Then I'm going to hit circle. Orbit position. That is not it. Cancel. Let's go back again. I think I selected waypoints. No, that was circle. Let's try it again. Circle. And that seems to want to do waypoints instead. So while we're in waypoints, let's go zoom in. Zoom in where we're at. That's not waypoints. Let me select waypoints just to do it. Multi-point mode. Centered. Zoom in a bit. Well, oh, I can't get waypoints to work. So next thing I'll do, let's do circle position again. And circle position doesn't want to work. So, what have we got left? That's about it. The advanced flight modes. Circle position and waypoint seems to be an issue right now. Let me bring it over here and let's just fly it now. Am I in high rate? Let's adjust the rates. That's okay. That should be signal rate. And going back to this view and going up and out. Now remember the last time we flew outbound. Let me adjust the camera up again.
Last time we flew outbound, we couldn't go very far until we lost signal. I'm starting to lose signal right there. Okay, that's going, raising the camera. Starting to lose the signal right there, folks. And that's not too far away. Let me go up a bit higher, see if that helps. Well, not much. It's kind of choppy, and I'm not sure that I want to go too far out. How's our battery power, by the way? We're about half battery power. So for the remainder of the flight, let's bring it in closer and show you the drone. So this, you know, you're not going to get cinematic drone again, as I explained before, in this price range. The reason being, they shaved a lot of things on this drone to keep the price down and keep the weight down. The good thing about it is it's a good flyer. I can tell you that right now. Let me lower the gimbal, because what I want to do next, we're going to try this waypoint or headless mode. So pressing the headless mode button. Okay, there's forward. Okay, this is the headless mode direction in that way. So I want to get behind it, and we're going to push up and away. Up and away, folks. Do it is what I want it to do, but we're going to bring it back in again. Turning off headless mode and bringing it back toward me. Okay, raising the camera up. Raising the camera up. I keep getting that mixed up. Coming back down again. Okay, right now the battery's giving me a warning that it's getting low, but let's lower it. Well, right now I tried follow me worked. Tried circle me and waypoints. They seem to have problems. Let's try circle position one more time. I don't know why it goes to this map mode, and I don't know how to activate circle position right from this map mode. But yeah, it seems to be an issue with the app itself. So let's turn off circle position and waypoints and all that. Go back to this mode again and just talk about the drone. It's an easy to fly drone. It's a simple drone, good drone for beginners, just to mess around with. You're not going to get cinematic photography from it. You are going to get reasonable looking photography though. What I'm seeing right now, especially on a day like today, doesn't look too bad. It's an awful day to be flying. But other than that, it's an okay drone for beginner pilots to learn the basics. Again, not cinematic. Don't expect cinematic. Not stabilized, but reasonably good for a beginner. So let's try sport mode. Let's fly it in a higher rate. High rate. And let's just see how fast it goes. So right now, again, the battery is low. I want to see right also if we have a geofence. This is going to bounce into a geofence. I'm not seeing a geofence. Oh, wait a minute, I take that back. There we go. There's the geofence, and how far is that? 30 meters, as expected. Okay, which way is the front? Point toward me. Come back toward me. You look for that blue light. That blue light is the front. Let me turn it toward me. I see the blue light now. It's a little zippy little thing. Zippy indeed. A fun little flyer. Yeah, but a basic GPS drone. Basic GPS drone for new pilots. I don't know what it, there we go. Let's turn it back toward me. Now we're going to fly it until its battery dies. The reason being, I want to see what it does. Does it do a return to home? Let me lower that gimbal. Does it do an automatic return to home? Or will it land wherever it's at? Again, it brings itself in within a 30-meter circle, and you can't fly any farther than that 30 meters. So, linking it up again. While we're here, let me stop the video recording. And where is that? Was it even recording? I don't think it was. It's recording now. Okay, syncing up the cameras. So while we're here, a quick summary again. Basic GPS drone for beginner pilots. Basic GPS. The camera works. Follow me works. Circle position and waypoints seems to be a problem with this RX app. They need to update that. It might still work with the, I can't remember what the previous app that went with this drone, but that had issues too. the RXF. But again, basic drone for beginner pilots, basic GPS drone with a bigger battery. It's supposed to fly, what was it, 30 minutes or something like that. I don't know if it'll do that, especially on a cold day like today. I doubt it. But I'm going to keep it close. Actually, I want to turn it toward me, because if it gets a low battery and makes a beeline back to where it took off from, I don't want to be in the way. Okay, so we're over here. The video, again, is coming over Wi-Fi, FPV video, and again, with Wi-Fi, there's always inherent issues with it, like namely frame dropping and frozen frames. And I saw that already when we flew out of range. Or actually, I think what happened again was that I accidentally did not wait until you verify that you are that there is no internet and you want to stay connected. So, okay, for the remainder, let's fly it around again as in sport mode. Actually, let's go up a bit, show you Erie. I don't think you can see Lake Erie today, although who knows, we might get lucky. But let's go up higher. I think we'll have a ceiling of about 30 meters. Oh, it's doing something right. I don't know what it's doing. It's low battery. So it actually does a return to home. It's doing a return to home and landing on low battery. So it does that. That's good. I don't like the ones that just land anywhere. You know, they could be out over trees or something. You want it to come home if possible. And in doing so, it does raise itself up. It looked like it raised itself up to about 20 meters or so. And then coming back. And the idea of it raising itself up on low battery is to prevent hitting objects on the way back. Let's see if I can stop that. I don't want to land in the snow. I can't stop it. Okay, never mind. It's going to land in the snow. So that's it. Let's stop that video recording. Video recording is stopped. And give you my final thoughts. Okay, again, the L700 beginner's GPS drone. It seems the GPS system is very good on the L900 and on the L700. Both of these drones have a very safe GPS system. I'll give you that. The cameras on them could be better, especially if they put SD card. I really recommend they do an SD card on these. That's the next step. Who knows? Maybe that'll be the L500. So, okay, this is Quadcopter 101. Hope you enjoyed this flight. Quadcopter 101, signing out.
Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.